Thank you for coming this morning. Hopefully you can all hear me. My name is Michael, and I look after QuickSight and Amazon Q go-to-market for Asia Pacific and Japan, based in Singapore. And today we're going to talk to you a little bit about QuickSight, about Q for QuickSight, and the way that we can embed QuickSight and Q for QuickSight into applications that would allow you to monetize your data both externally or internally if you wish. We have two customer speakers with us, which we'll introduce, who have actually done this before and are in production with this, and they are definitely the stars of this show, so we're going to keep it short from the AWS side. And then basically they're both going to come up, talk about what they've done, their applications, show a little bit of a live demo, which is pre-recorded, and then we're going to close with some resources that you may want to take advantage of if you're interested in doing something like this. If you're evaluating how you can build an app out, embed analytics, embed natural language query, and monetize your data. So let's just start with the basic business case. According to the studies that we see here, essentially the ISV market is projected to grow to 175,000 ISVs globally by 2028. And they will produce over 500 million cloud-native apps. And you can see these market numbers here. These are definitely non-trivial market numbers. So there's a massive market for these kinds of apps, whether it's whatever vertical it happens to be in, that allow end users to basically do analytics, ask questions and get answers, and these kinds of things. As we all know, there's a lot of data out there right now, and we're producing more and more data. And of course, companies are looking for ways that they can stand out, that they can distinguish themselves and monetize this data. And what we've seen as a trend is really that customers want to do analytics, especially as an industry, as we make analytics so much easier, right? And you'll see when we get into the QuickSight slides, if you haven't seen QuickSight before, we're really moving to much more of a Gen AI forward experience. So many of you have probably used dashboards and visualizations before. We also have those. But we're really moving into a Gen AI driven experience. And so it's all about natural language query, asking questions, getting answers, not just two easy questions to answer, but also more complex questions. So what are some of the challenges that are out there? And this may hopefully resonate with all of you, assuming that you're building apps. The first is, obviously, it costs time and money to build an app just as it is. And if you want to embed a visualization, a dashboard, a natural language query bar, building that in-house is going to take even more time and money. And of course, that also means more time to market, right? Being first to market oftentimes is the biggest distinguisher and the biggest thing you can do to bring your business at the forefront. Additionally, in many scenarios, even if you are using a third-party tool for dashboards, visualizations, whatever it might be, there's a lot of scale to manage. So you have to worry about, as my audience grows, as I get more and more customers, how do I deal with the demand, right? How do I deal with the cost for demand and all those kinds of things? So using those principles, we worked backwards from our customers and what we hear from them and created Amazon Q and QuickSight. Q is part of QuickSight since 2023. There are some really exciting things that are coming out probably as I speak in the keynote in the other room that I'm sure you'll hear about. But basically, for those of you who have not used QuickSight, or perhaps you have used it a little bit, but you want to know a little bit more, there are a couple of really key things that make QuickSight special. All right? The first is that we believe it is a unified business intelligence solution. What that means is there's more than just dashboards. There's more than just paginated reports. There's more than just natural language query. We have all of those built into one service. And that service is, like many things within AWS, completely hosted in the AWS cloud. It's purely SaaS. It's what we call serverless. Of course, there are servers in the cloud, but we're managing them. So what that means is you can just sign up, start with a very small footprint, pay for what you use, and then scale up as demand increases in your embedded scenarios, and even scale down if you need to do that as well. That will all happen automatically. You don't have to worry about patching, upgrading, any of these things. It's completely serverless. So as a result, what we've seen, according to these studies that are cited down there, is that over 3 years, the overall ROI is basically 74% higher, or there's basically a 74% lower total cost of ownership over 3 years as compared to other technologies that are out there that allow you to embed analytics. And you can also see here the ROI number is almost 3x, and we see anywhere between 150% to a 300% increase in usage, right? And so what that means is as we make it easier and easier as an industry to get answers to questions that people have about data, we start to see these numbers grow, and we start to see much more adoption, whether it's internal or whether it's external in the case of an embedded scenario. So as a result, we have globally over 100,000 customers that are currently using QuickSight. You can see some of them here. These are really they kind of run the gamut of customers. We have large enterprise customers, of course, everything from medium to SMB to startups. So a lot of companies taking advantage of these advantages of QuickSight that I mentioned. So just a little bit more specifics about what we have in QuickSight that you can embed into your applications. So we have, obviously, dashboards. They're called visuals on this slide. We have machine learning insights, which are built into QuickSight, specifically forecasting and anomaly detection. We also have, by the way, integration to SageMaker and SageMaker Canvas. So if you want to build your own models, you can do that. We have paginated reports, which are basically scheduled, regular reports that usually have a CSV file attached to them that go out to your CFO or whoever it might be on a regular basis. We have natural language query in the form of Amazon Q. And then, very interestingly, we can also enable the embedding of the whole dashboard authoring experience. So what that means is you can create a tiered offering where you basically say, hey, for the lowest tier, maybe it's a freemium model, you get as a customer, you get a dashboard embedded. At a medium tier, maybe you get a dashboard and some insights capability. And at the top tier, maybe you have the capability to author your own dashboards with QuickSight. And as you'll see, you can even use natural language to do that. So we feel like that's really a powerful and interesting distinguisher. And many of our customers are taking advantage of that. One last thing I just want to mention on this slide, we talked through these, but basically we also have pixel perfect reports which are embeddable, right? So you can come up with offerings where you basically allow your customers to generate a report that's pixel perfect, that gets sent out to their stakeholders on a regular basis and only pay for what you use, right? No licensing, none of that kind of yearly love letter. You just pay for what you use. So when it comes to embedding, there are two categories that I want to talk to you about really quickly of development and deployment. We call them build and scale. So from a build point of view, we have a capability which is called one-click embedding. All right, the idea here is the following. The idea is that very likely before you go all in building out an app that monetizes your data or enhancing one that you already have, you're probably going to want to do some proof of concept and just figure out if things are working properly. And so in order to do that, we want to lower the technical barrier so you can test things quickly, fail fast if you have to, and then react quickly. And so we've created this one-click embedding capability that allows you to embed all of the things that I mentioned with just a click. Basically, you create an endpoint, you can embed that in an iframe, and you're good to go. Obviously, once you get more into a production scenario, you're going to want to, build out some more capabilities. You're going to want to think about authentication, et cetera. And for that, we have a rich set of APIs, which allows you to do production-style embedding, right? And you can see some of the capabilities there that I mentioned before, whether it's a dashboard, the authoring console, the Q search bar, or just simply a single visualization. You can achieve that by both scenarios there. One note I would say about this here also is that with embedding and API-based embedding, you can embed authenticated users, or for authenticated users. So that means they would log onto a portal through some single sign-on process and then be authenticated into the app and use your QuickSight dashboard or whatever else you have embedded. But we also have anonymous embedding. So in the case that you may have public data that you want to make available, or you just simply don't need people to log on, you can take advantage of anonymous embedding. One of the advantages of this serverless model, as I'm sure you would agree, is that we are constantly adding new capabilities in the background, right? We're constantly making things, adding functionality capabilities. One of the big areas of focus for us is embedding and those kinds of capabilities. So you can see some things here that we've been adding recently. One of the key themes here is that we want to make it as easy as possible for you to brand QuickSight content in your app. So what that means is when an end user uses your application, they shouldn't see that this is a third-party integration of analytics. They should have a totally seamless experience. So the look and feel, the color palette, all these different things are completely blended into your application and look totally natural. So all of that is enabled via API, and some of the other things you can see as well, like being able to kick off workflows, and persisting information so users don't have to reset things. So all kinds of things there. One scenario that is also unique, I mentioned console embedding, and I also mentioned it as author embedding. But the idea is that you may want to make available to your customers the ability to author their own dashboards, to create their own dashboards. And you may have, hopefully, you have thousands of customers. So how do you isolate them from other customers and other customers' data? With this multi-tenancy capability, we call it namespaces, we've got this built in so that you can essentially have thousands and thousands of customers, each of whom have an authoring capability and are completely isolated from one another, right? So they can't see each other, they can't see each other's data. They're just running basically in their own tenant, completely isolated. And of course, you're gonna need to do some management, right? Because this is serverless, there's not a ton of management that you need to do. But you still need to deploy and manage users. You probably want to do some kind of backup, and then maybe you're going to want to do some source control of dashboards. We have a set of APIs that allows you to do all of that, so you can automate all these different processes, including the CI/CD process, right? So we have different sets of APIs that will allow you to export and import dashboards and other assets, and APIs which allow you to programmatically deal with CI/CD. So you can do this in a way that is easy, cost-effective, and basically takes as little developer time as possible. And then once you're in the scale scenario, you can see that because of the fact that QuickSight is serverless, you can easily scale to demand. What that means is if you're in a scenario where you're selling an application or subscription to an application and you get more and more customers, you don't have to do anything to scale up to meet the demand of those customers, right? And in the opposite case, if you're scaling down for whatever reason, the same is true. So no effort required on your part to scale up and scale down. It's just kind of managed because of the serverless architecture. And as a result, you saw the first logo slide. This logo slide shows us a number of customers who have taken advantage of this capability and are using QuickSight right now. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is Amazon Q and QuickSight, and then I will call up Vinod, our QuickSight solution architect, also based in Singapore, to show you this in a demo. But essentially the idea is this. We have deeply infused Gen AI into QuickSight. And this Gen AI comes in a couple of different forms that you can see on this slide. So I'll walk through these really quickly. Before we talk about this, just so we can set the context of this slide, there are two main personas within QuickSight. One is an author who creates dashboards, and the second is a reader who uses dashboards. All right, they're asking questions, they're getting answers. They're not creating dashboards, that's the author. So both of these personas have a lot of Gen AI infused into their capabilities. For authors, we have AI-powered authoring for dashboards. What that means is you can create dashboards using natural language. So instead of dragging and dropping and all of that, you can basically just say, I would like a visualization, which is a heat map, which shows me products by geo, by profit, and then that heat map is created, and you can just add that to your dashboard. You can also create calculated fields, for those of you who have done that before, using language. We leverage Q for Developer for that. Okay, that's the AI-powered capabilities for authors. For readers, we have a couple of different things. Essentially, what we see is that readers ask two kinds of questions. They ask, why did something happen, and what should I do about it? So to deal with why did something happen, we have Amazon Q capabilities, which is natural language query, so you can just type in a question, get an answer. What should I do about it is basically addressed by what we call data stories, which is a front end for a large language model which allows you to ask non-trivial questions like create a sales strategy for me that increases profitability for a product and give me recommendations on how to roll it out. All right, we're gonna show you both of those things. And then finally, all of what I just discussed, all of what I just mentioned is embeddable in your apps. And so we talked about embedding dashboards, embedding natural language query, embedding even a single visualization. You can also embed these Gen BI or Gen AI for BI capabilities that we've created. All right, so in the interest of time, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit here. And with that, I would ask Vinod to come up and show you an example via demo of what I just talked about. Thank you, Vinod.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Vinod, based in Singapore. I'm a QuickSight solution architect. So let's see it in a demo, how to embed QuickSight in an application and then supercharge it. So think of this as a anycompany.com dealing with telecom business and see how to embed QuickSight. And we have two user profiles, John and Megan. So let's log in as John and then see what options are available in the application. So John can see your overview page or an insights page, so where we can do a fine-grained visual embedding. When I say a fine-grained visual embedding, we can choose the visuals from different QuickSight dashboards, and it can be embedded in the application. So the visuals, what you see here, is created using the newly launched feature, high chart visuals. So through the high chart visuals, we can create n number of visuals in QuickSight. So it's increasing the data visualization capabilities within QuickSight. So in addition to embedding the visuals, so we can also embed the dashboards in the web application. So while embedding the dashboards in the applications, it ensures it retains all the options like menu options like navigating it from summary to detailed dashboards or navigating it from summary page to a detailed sheet, or we can apply the filters from the application and it can be passed down to the dashboards as well. So in particular, in this dashboard, so we have insights about customer trends or data download trends. So let's zoom in detail on the data download trends, and we can see a clear jump in the data download from December 2022 to January 2023. So typically, you will know to find why there is an increase in the data download. So instead of creating a separate dashboard or asking an analyst to go and find out why it is increased, so with QuickSight Q, so we can ask a question, why the data download increased in January 2023. With QuickSight Q, you can do a contribution analysis, and we can find the answers. So what you see here is, so we have embedded QuickSight Q search bar alone in the application so that it gives a maximum space for the users to see the dashboard as well as to see the insights from the QuickSight Q. So from the contribution analysis, we can change the different key drivers and we can find out more additional details about the insights. So we can also ask an additional question like, so when was the data download for a streaming happen? So with the streaming applied as a filter conditions, so it can find more details about the data. So it can create a multi-visual response. QuickSight is able to create a multi-visual response, and we can zoom into a particular visual to find out more details. And on the left side, we can see the summary of the visuals. It is created by QuickSight Q. So we can also pin a particular visual to a pin board. So think about pin board as a personalized mini dashboard for the users to go and see the visuals which they liked it from the Q responses. So with QuickSight Q, so even the row-level security filters are ensured so that the users can see the same data in dashboard, and also they're ensured to see the same data in Q responses as well. So in particularly in this dashboard, so we also have a table visual which captures the different contract status of a customer. In particular, there is one particular contract got canceled, which is of a high value. So you would like to know why the contract got canceled. you would like to create an email or you would like to create an offline ticket. So instead of doing it in an offline way, with QuickSight Callback Action API, you can invoke the workflow which is defined in an application and provide additional details to create a ticket in the backend system. So as you see here, there's a small pop-up window with the details where the user clicked, and it is having all the details, both the contract which got canceled, and you can provide additional details like why the contract got canceled, and you can initiate a workflow which is part of your application, and it can create the tickets in the CRM system. So as you see here, the ticket is getting created in the CRM system, and so that we can initiate the workflow within the QuickSight, within the embedded application itself. So in addition to embedding the dashboards, we can also embed the QuickSight paginated reports, a pixel-perfect paginated reports. So it is highly formatted. It can run across multiple pages with header and footers. So we can also apply the filters at the paginated report, and we can generate the reports even while embedding in an application. So earlier, we have seen how to embed the QuickSight Q search bar. In a similar way, we can embed the QuickSight Q console also in the application so that the user can see all the questions which are pre-verified by an author or the system-generated queries. So we can customize an application to group the questions in a logical way or in a more business-friendly way so that it gives an idea for the users to use QuickSight Q in a better way. The user can use the questions as is, or they can go and modify and use it, or you can go and start with a new question altogether. So let's start with a simple example of what is the total top sales in the last year. So these are the different ways we can group the questions. So let's start with a simple example of what is the top sales in the last year. So now QuickSight Q is able to create a multi-visual response. In the yesterday's announcement, there is an important feature got announced. So now we are able to integrate QuickSight with Q Business, so which means we can see both the data in the insights from the structured data as well as from the unstructured data in a single pane of glass. So on the left side, you can see the summary which is created from the structured data, and also there is an additional insights have been created using QuickSight Q Business. So all the additional insights have been derived from the documents which are stored in the system. So it gives a single pane of glass, both the structured insights as well as the unstructured details. So you can see these are the different files that is being used to create these unstructured insights. So let's ask another question. So what are the data downloads happened, trends happened in 2023? So QuickSight Q is able to create a multi-visual response based on the structured data that is available in QuickSight, and also it's able to create additional insights using Q Business with the unstructured data that is available in the system. So in the unstructured insights, you can see the different plans that are available and what are the different details about each of the plans. So like the business plan, like the family plans. So a lot of details have been provided here using the Q Business integration. So it's a significant feature which combines the insights both from the structured data as well as from the unstructured data. So here we have embedded QuickSight Q console in a full mode so that the user can use it, the existing questions, as well as the user can ask the new questions as well. All right, so let me move on to the author mode. So let me log in as Megan. So Megan is an author user, and she has more privileges than John. So basically, Megan is a QuickSight author user. In addition to seeing an existing dashboard, so Megan also can go and customize an existing dashboard or start a new dashboard altogether. So under the self-service, so the Megan can start a new analysis altogether. So in this case, the analysis is being created with a sample data set. So one important feature which got announced last week is the import visual feature. So which means, now you can have a catalog of visuals in a different dashboards and analysis. Using the import visual feature, you can import an existing visuals seamlessly into the new analysis, which is going to streamline the development activities by importing the visuals with the dependencies like data sets, parameters, calculated fields, or the visual formatting it. And it's going to significantly increase the developer productivity instead of creating the same visual n number of times. So you define it once, create it once, and import it in all the other future dashboards so that it will have a unified layout or a unified dashboards across all the business units. So with QuickSight's serverless architecture and the row-level security filters and namespace architectures, so it can scale seamlessly to hundreds and thousands of users seamlessly. So we can publish the dashboard even in the application itself instead of logging in separately to console. So it's a seamless experience. The user did not have to log in twice. So the user will log in only once to the application, and then they can start customizing the dashboard or creating a new dashboard within an application itself. So just to recap, so we can embed the QuickSight visuals or the dashboard or the paginated report, QuickSight queue search bar alone, or we can embed the QuickSight queue in a full console mode so that the user can ask questions. Whether you are an ISP provider or a software vendor, so you can start small and scale to hundreds or thousands of users using QuickSight with serverless architecture and multi-tenant architecture. Thank you, everyone. So let me hand over it to Mike for further conversation.
Thank you very much, Vinod. That was a great demo on a demo system. And now we're going to invite Federico from our customer Docebo to come up and talk about an actual live system that's been created and deployed. Federico?
Thank you, Michael. At Docebo, our mission is to help organizations deliver scalable and personalized training experience. Whether for employee, customers, or partners, our platforms enables our clients to enhance productivity and engagement across the board. But to do that in the right way, our customers need the right tools to analyze their learning data and make informed decisions. So around 20 months ago, we have started a new project with a goal in our mind. Basically, we wanted to provide our customer with a solution to measure and analyze their learning performance, regardless of their size, their use case, and their maturity in terms of analytics. The world of learning analytics is pretty complex, because when we talk about training people, a company could have multiple objectives, and so multiple ways to interpret the same data. A company using Docebo, for example, must be able to track at the same time in the same platform its workforce skills and how a specific training program impacts sales of a given product. This just to give you an idea of how complex is this world. At the beginning of our project in, let's say, Q1 2023, we had a lot of questions and challenges on our table. First of all, we knew our platform had to meet multiple use cases, so we needed an architecture capable of doing that. Then we faced the classic make or buy decision. Being a software company, we theoretically had in-house all the skills to build our own learning analytics solution. However, the market was already offering advanced solution for embedding BI, which simplified the scalability issue. Another important aspect was finding a platform that could support our growing business, which includes today thousands of customers and allow us to create an effective and secure provisioning system. Last but not least, of course, we wanted to find a way to monetize our efforts by offering more to those who wanted it. Today, we can say that we did it, because 2 months ago, we have launched Insights, a new generation of dashboards embedded into our main product that offer a modern analytic experience with the filtering capabilities, drill down, and a wide range of visualizations. This was possible, of course, thanks to Amazon QuickSight. The adoption of QuickSight has been strategic since the first steps, because at the very, very beginning, QuickSight has helped us to run a POC of what we had in mind. And today, QuickSight is supporting our dashboard delivery workflow from the conception to the final delivery. But the adoption of QuickSight was instrumental also in helping us in achieve our business goals. In fact, QuickSight has enabled us to think 3 different ways of offering our solution. Docebo is usually offered with 2 licensing options, the basic one and the standard one. In the basic one, we have integrated QuickSight by just giving access to standard dashboards. Standard dashboards are dashboards created by Docebo for its customers on specific topics. Not more than that. For the standard license, that is the most popular one within the Docebo customer base, beyond the access to the standard dashboard, we have used the simplified authoring experience, and with the import functionality, we have created what we call the visual library, a place where a user can select a list of visuals from a predefined library and include in his custom dashboard. But for organizations that require more advanced capabilities, we also offer a premium package as an optional upgrade. Of course, the premium package, you have access to the standard functionalities, plus we have managed to include a full authoring experience so that our customers and our users can now create visual from scratch, leveraging on the data sets available. Now I show you a very, very brief demo. So this is the landing page of Insights. Here you can see the standard dashboard. When you click on one of them, here I select course enrollments and completion. You see many visuals on the right part, the completion rate, enrollment status, completion trend. And we have re-implemented the filtering experience in our application by using a QuickSight APIs. Here you can select some filters, you can apply those filters, and the dashboard is automatically refreshed. But if you now go back to the Insights landing page, you see that there are the possibility to have My Dashboards. Through this button, Create Dashboard, you can create a new standard dashboard, a new custom dashboard, sorry. You can give it a name. And when the dashboard is created, you have access to the simplified authoring experience, where you have the import functionality. And here, the user can select the visuals that he wants and import the visuals into the custom dashboard. Here you have some capabilities of resizing, repositioning each visual. And when you are done, the dashboard is ready. But for who have the advanced mode, you can also enable it. And so the same dashboard is now edited in a full authoring mode. Here you can create a visual from scratch by selecting the data points from the available data sets. And when you are OK with that, you can save the dashboard version, and that's it. And the dashboard is ready to be viewed also by other users. Our journey, as I said, started on March 2023, where after a selection process lasted 9 months, where we have evaluated 8 different vendors and ran 3 different POC. We have selected AWS QuickSight mainly for 2 reasons. One for the embedding capabilities, and the other one was about the sophisticated row-level security. On October 2023, we have launched our first private beta program, including nearly 60 customers and 16 partners. This was the moment for us for validating the embedding functionalities, of course, but also a way to prioritize our next efforts in terms of dashboard creations and the features to be included. On April 2024, so this here, we have extended our beta program to all our customers, going public. But the access was reserved only for super admins. This was the moment for us to validate the scalability of what we have built on top of QuickSight. And as I said, at the end of September this year, we have officially launched our product to all our customers, extending the access to the power users. And here where we have developed the row-level security. Here a very, very short detail about the service that we are using, AWS services that we are using. Of course, not only QuickSight. We need to manipulate QuickSight object. We need to take care about the provisioning, and of course, the Insights application. The interesting thing here is that we are using Snowflake as a data warehouse that we have easily integrated to create our data sets. Even if it is still too early to have list all the benefits, some of them are already clear. Because now we have cut the dashboard creation time from months to days. I remember when to create one single visual, we needed several weeks. Now, in the same time, we can create an entire dashboard that is usually composed by 10 to 12 widgets, 10 visuals, sorry. And also about the dashboard management, today we count 54,000 managed dashboard, including the standard one that we are provisioning across 7 different AWS regions, plus the ones that the customers are creating every day. We have gathered some customer feedbacks in the last months, and I see basically 2 different directions. Customers are happy, so it means that we are in a good direction. And they are especially happy about the fact that now they have a place where they can visualize their data. And of course, they have also enhanced the communication with their stakeholders by using the dashboards that we have provided them. Our mission for the next year is pretty clear, because we want to work on the adoption, and we want to reach the quota of 50,000 users by the end of 2025. But in order to do that, we need to include more users, because not everyone has the right skills to play with a sophisticated BI tool. And so we are experimenting Amazon Q in QuickSight in order to simplify the dashboard and the visual creations, generate executive summaries, enhance the storytelling with the data storing, and using multi-visual Q&A. That's my story. I'm happy to answer your question after this meeting. Michael.
Thank you very much, Federico. So that was a great demo and product that uses embedded dashboards and authoring. And now I would like to ask Lena from our customer A-Commerce to come up and talk about some incredible and exciting embedding that they're doing in their product of Amazon Q, which is, of course, our natural language query capability. Lena.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning, Las Vegas. My name is Lena. I'm the regional head of data and analytics at A-Commerce. I hope you guys are having an actual good morning, because you're not half as jet lagged as I am. So before I get into the topic, let me give you a brief overview of A-Commerce. So A-Commerce is the largest e-commerce enabler in Southeast Asia. Okay? So we're a one-stop shop for the brands, right? So if you want to sell something online, we do everything from end to end, and this includes like inbounding into our warehouse to data and analytics inside. We also do delivery. We do last mile delivery, order management. We do inventory management. We do warehouse management, everything, right? Including doing marketing, right? And also social media. So this would then allow the brands to be able to take their products online, right? And combine it with their offline sales. So these are some of the figures that would allow you to understand where we are in Southeast Asia. So we have approximately 9 million orders plus fulfilled every year. Right? We have approximately 16 million plus end users, end consumers, people who buy things from us. We have over 300 API integrations, right? And we serve over 170 global brands, regional and global. We have 8 fulfillment centers, and you can see them all scattered all over, right, in Southeast Asia. And because we operate all of that, we have a comprehensive set of data. So this is the size of our data as of today, right? So tier 1 is our raw data. And then it goes all the way down, right? Tier 2, our data warehouse, and then it goes all the way down to tier 5, which is the insights. So you can see the funnel going down, right? And today we offer more than 120 insights to our clients. And on the right side, you can see the things that we provide as a part of the insights to our clients, right? So this includes purchasing behavior, this includes basket analysis, product affinity, price elasticity, things that you are probably used to inside a monthly business reviews, doing your sales analytics or purchasing analytics, marketing analytics. So those are the things that we basically create. So now, knowing just your own business is only half the whirlwind, right? So let's say you know that your business is growing at 15% month on month. Is it great? It looks good. But then what if the market is growing at 20%? Or even worse, your clients are growing at 20%. How do you know that? So that's why we created a product called Market Insights. Market Insights is a competitor analysis. So we basically bring together data from multiple marketplaces in Southeast Asia that is big enough to represent the market landscape. Okay, so for instance, in Thailand, so here it would be Amazon. People buy things on Amazon. So in Thailand, it would be Lazada, it would be Shopee, it would be TikTok, right? So EMI is already a very popular product because it allows our brands to benchmark themselves against their competitors inside the marketplace. So now we were thinking to ourselves and goes, how do we make something that's already popular even better? So that's why the concept of, so what we were trying to do is we have a lot of dashboards, right, that is actually covering all of these questions already. So we have multiple tabs, we have multiple data. So this is our real site, right? Put it into GIF. So it covers the main key purpose of why people buy Market Insights is to understand where they stand in the share of shelf in that market landscape, right? So what we want to do better is to be able to cater to specific questions. So let's say, showing available data is actually easy, but showing missing data is very hard. Like for instance, because we do aggregates, right? Inside this website, you can see top 10 products, bottom 10 products, top 10 brands, bottom 10 brands. But what if you're a brand that is not in the top? And what if you're not at the bottom too? You're in the middle, right? So if we were to show that on the UI, somebody would be scrolling endlessly, right? Just to find their products, just to try to figure out how their sales are doing. So therefore, there are 2 things we can do. Number 1, we can basically say, all right, let's create more dashboards so that these guys can actually see their products. But then what would happen is we're going to end up with a lot more dashboards, right? So internally, you can see that this is our internal dashboards, not the Market Insights dashboard. We have today 765 internal dashboards. So let's say we provide our clients with more dashboards. It's going to have the same problem as our internal. Is nobody knows where to find the dashboard that they want to use. So to answer specific questions, if every time somebody asks something new, we need to create a new dashboard, we'll create thousands more. We already have 765. We don't want our clients to have to browse through all of that. So therefore, we thought about it different ways. Everybody wants to see the same data differently, so therefore, we came up with a new concept. So we came up with chat analytics. So September 2023, a little over a year ago, we locked down the designs in February, right? So we started this concept September 2023, February 2024, a few months ago, we locked down the designs, right? And then we did an alpha testing with DKSH, one of the largest distributor, boasting over 500 brands. They're one of the biggest clients that's using the market insights to understand the competitors for their brands. So therefore, that was in May. And then after that, in July, we did beta testing on production with about 5 more clients. And then in October, we finally did our official launch. So coming back to where we started, so initially when I first started, it's on the left side. That's what I thought it's going to look like. Super simple. Somebody asks a question. It converts that into a query. It answers back with the data, and then they get the insights. Now, final architecture looks nothing like that. So our final architecture, we've always been a heavy user of Amazon products, right? So the first thing, S3, no-brainer, cost-effective storage solution for us. Number 2, Redshift, our core data platform. 3, RDS. This is to manage our tier 3 data, which is closest to the user-ready format. We have EC2. This provides us with flexible computing capacity because we do retails online. So it's seasonal, just like Black Friday that just happened. We have a double digit. We have payday. We have all kinds of campaigns. We need to scale up and down all the time. And then we also have EKS, the Kubernetes. So this helps us maximize the usage of the availability of the resources that we have. Now, for this project, we throw in 2 more. We throw in AWS DMS because we have multiple databases, right? This helps maintain data integrity across the databases. And then we threw in QuickSight. And now you can see. So I'm going to show you the demo of our products previously. And then after that, I will show you what new we did with chat analytics. So here is how you traditional browse sites on our EMI market insights for competitor analysis. You browse, you select, you download the file, you have it sent on an email in a PDF format, and then our clients have to digest all of these insights. And for some clients, it's over 120 pages that they have to digest. Some of them answers the question they want to see. Some of them is for their boss. But they have to peruse through all that to find all of it. Now, the new way that we're doing is you can see the top left corner as IQ. So I made a last-minute change of this video. So I switched out our commercial videos for a live of our real business use case that our clients always want to know. So for instance, one client would like NPD. NPD is a new product development. So what happened is they want to launch a new organic face foam. So what they need to do is to find out what are the sales of the product that contains the word organic in the category beauty for this year. To get that, they just ask the question, show sales for the top organic product in the category beauty by month, and then now they can understand that it spiked up, which means that they have white space to sell in this particular category. Right, now later on, now that you already know, the trends are going up for organic products. So these are real data. I want to show the top 20 competitors who are actually going to be competing against me inside beauty category for this year. So here you can see the top 20 brands, right? Now, because inside the marketplace, there are brands and there are also gray sellers, right? So then you remove the ones with no brands, and then you can now see that these are the names of all my competitors who are going to be competing against me inside this particular case, right? So now that they see that, they can now look at the contribution, right? So it's not just the revenue, right? Seeing the revenue, you probably can't figure out so what is their share of shelf? What are their contribution percentage? So here you can show the top 20 brands by sales as a percentage contribution in this category so that you can understand that these are all the brands I'm competing against and this is their share of shelf. and this is how much I have left if I were to launch a new product in this particular category. So besides that, you can also see the analysis on the sides, right? So more than that, you can also see the average selling price because that's the data that we have. So you're about to launch a facial foam. So how much should it be? What's the price? Who's selling it and what price are they selling it at? Is the price spiking? Is it going down? So you can ask average selling price of all the products that contains organic inside the beauty too as well. Now, once you did that, you can also show the size of that category. So let's say in a marketplace, there's multiple different categories, right? So you would like to know how big is this category that I'm going to be competing in among all other categories. So now you can see that there are multiple different categories, and the size of this category contains how many unique products, and have the size change in 2024. So this actually helps our brand figure out how they want to make the next move for all of their products. Now, how does this relate to an individual user? Is any users can add that questions. They can change the analysis right after, right? They can change the charts, the graph type to what they like. And then after that, they can then pin it. Once they pin it, the same questions that they ask now will be available for them every day. And it's catered specifically to them. So the next time they log in, they will see all of this. So now it's pinning. Once they pin, here, they can also see the pin boards. So the next time when they come in, all the analysis of their personalized questions are then available. And you can see that each person can pin like 40, 50 dashboards. And these are all specific to them, and they're all real use case. So I'm running low on time, so let me move on to the next slide. So this slide is the most important for me because it allows me to look in retrospective of the things that I have learned and the things that have happened during this project, and it's the most fun. So the easy one, the benefits. So the benefits of using these products allows me to actually understand, like I can direct my focus on what is my core business. My core business is making the data work with the tool that we have. And that's the hardest part of the job, right? So what happened is we actually do data. Amazon does the tool, we do the data, we do the cleaning, we do the procurement of the data, we do like extrapolation, we do the anomaly detection, removing it. So because we don't have to do the tool ourselves, this allows us to direct the focus on the actual procurement of the data and cleaning it. The second part is the commercials. The benefit of using a product, so we are really happy that we build on a service that has a commercials that complements ours. So for instance, if I choose a different vendor, let's say vendor B, and I'm locked down, right, for a price for 12 months, you'd be spending the first 8 months paying for development, right? And not really having anything running on production, but you already have to pay for it. So with the commercials for this, it allows us to grow in peace. And by grow in peace, it means if my sales are going slowly for this product, I don't have to bear the hefty burden of that cost, right? And at the same time, if I grow really fast, it allows me to not have to pay exponential. Oh, sorry. Let me come back a little bit. So the challenges, so this is the funny part. The challenges that people think that we would have would be like, the tools doesn't allow us to do a particular feature. But then in this case, our challenge was language. So at first, everybody thinks that LLM should support local language. It would make everybody else, ask the questions easily. But what we find is that's not the case. I don't need LLM to support my local language. I needed support broken English. So if you do a direct translation of Thai, how Thai people ask a question, it would be totally opposite from English. So when they ask the engine, in Thai, like, a direct translation of Thai to English, the engine gets confused. Like, for instance, should you sort before you group, or should you group before you sort? And the engine got confused. So what I was trying to do, right, as a part of that is, how do we make it easier for the user? So let me show you a little bit on this. So if you want to make it really easy for the user, I was thinking between throwing every data in possible and then making Q understand complex questions, right? So let's say, it can do multiple different actions in one prompt. That might make it easier for the user. But the point is, the user is already, English is not their native language, right? So if I make them write a really complicated query, it would exacerbate the problem. The engine gets confused, and they don't actually get something that they want. Now, working with AI is very precarious because everybody has high hopes. Everybody thinks that it's going to change the world. Management have high hopes for it. The operational people hates it. They don't trust it. So the really hard part, and that was the challenge, was the fact that, you only have one shot to make it right. And if the users don't trust it, they will never use it again. So those are the challenges, right? So for us, what I find out is finding the balance between the ease of use of a particular product and the cost that we have to pay for that ease of use is very important. So what we think, how we're going to address the challenge is we want to change it into a chat interface instead of just one big prompt, right? So somebody goes, hey, show me the top 20 brands for each category and marketplace. What they can do is, the engine can come back instead of, the person having to know, the engine can come back with a question. There are two types of way in which you can identify the word top. Which one do you want? Sales volume or unit sold? And then after that generates this. So that was what we're hoping to do next. So here in this case, we have done the testing, right, with one of our clients, and we have got the feedback. And the feedback allows us to understand that we're moving in the right way. But having a client write to us in an email with a feedback like that is not exactly something that is as powerful as seeing them on the launch day giving us a live feedback. So let me show you a short video of our actual launch day and our client feedback on this product.
CEO to basically brand managers, e-com managers, to analysts. Everyone has access to this, let's call it CEO tools.
ขอต้อนรับทุกท่านนะคะเข้าสู่ panel discussion session นะคะ
บางอย่างเราต้องไป validate กับซอร์สหลายๆทางทีนะครับ ASIQ ครับถ้าสมมติว่าเราเห็นข้างๆ widget จริงๆมันจะมีในส่วนของ accuracy box เนาะที่จะบอกได้เลยว่า data ส่วนนี้คือเอามาจากdata ชุดไหนอันนี้เป็นการ validate เบื้องต้นภายในแพลตฟอร์มก่อนสิ่งนี้ค่อนข้าง impress ในความง่าย
My advice so far with a lot of my clients is, as I said before, it's not really about cutting your headcount. It's about redeploying your headcount to do many more value-added tasks. So we love this product. It will be super useful for any brand or retailer.
We can take a look at what happened.
So the best part of this whole thing was the fact that everybody really wanted it. Everybody was interested in it. And that's what made us move forward with it. So coming back to the future with AskIQ, so now we see the success of it with our clients on market insights. We want to make this tool available for all of our clients with their own data. So it would be e-commerce data, our partner data, their data online and offline. And that's the future of it. Thank you so much. Michael, can you please take over? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lena. Thank you. That's excellent. We're so excited about both of our customers and what they're doing. I think we have 1 minute, which is perfect timing. We have a couple of resources. If you're interested in learning more about QuickSight, you can see here a couple of QR codes for Q for QuickSight. We have a community, which is a one-stop shop. I would say if there's one resource that you want to take home with you, it's this community. You can get to every other resource from the community itself. We have experts who are available to answer questions on the community And then furthermore, if you're more interested in QuickSight, there's quite a few more sessions that you can see here or on your app. We recommend, if you want to go deeper, this is a 200 level discussion. If you want to go to the 300 level, we have this embedded analytics deep dive, which is Thursday at 11:30 a.m. And of course, we have a kiosk at the expo, which we'll be at. And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. So with that, we want to thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it. If you have any questions, as I mentioned, we'll be around at the booth. We'll be walking around. Thank you very much for your time, and have a good rest of reInvent. Thank you.